should you end a relationship if you are on different pages when it comes to parenthood, you know, to prevent that heartache in the future? And is it something that you should talk about first, Stacey? Did you and Joe talk about it early days?
Yeah,
I know you've got lovely Rex now.
I was really upfront with Joe at the beginning. I knew 100% that I definitely wanted more children, and I just felt like as we began our relationship, and I felt like it was going to be something that could go further. I didn't see the point in it allowing it to get to a stage before having those discussions.
So how early?
Oh, God, I would say in the first couple of months, maybe even earlier. I think I might have said to him, like, from the offset, you know, I've got 2 kids, 2 cats and a dog, and I want more children. Hello, do you still want to go out with me? I think I was just really, really upfront.
And if he'd have said at that point, listen, you know, I'm falling in love with you, you're wonderful, I can see a future for us, but I really don't want children.
It just wouldn't have worked out. I know that he really wanted more children as well, and I know that had it been the other way around and I said I don't want any more children, it wouldn't have been a relationship that he could have continued with, and vice versa. When you know what you want in life, and as hard as it is when you're in love with somebody to say, actually, I want to go down this path, I think you just have to do it.
It's because you hear stories, don't you, Janet, of people that haven't discussed it, you know, and
they like me.
They've gone...
I've discussed a lot of things with my potential husbands, but having children wasn't one of them.
Why? Because you
well, I don't want them to know too much about me, for a starter. Yeah, but I'm flabbergasted that Stacey went out with Joe for about 8 weeks and they're discussing children. I mean,
I went out with Ray and I was pregnant in 8 weeks.
I think we've met. Well, I kind of went out with them in a sex house. Yeah, I think it was like I went out with them for about 48 hours and then we might have sex, and if it was useless, there wouldn't be any further relationship.
But if they'd have come to you...
my husbands
so romantic. You're so romantic.
Oh. But did they not ask you? Did they say to you, look, you know, do you think...
2 of my husbands already had children, and one had a child with a huge, you know, with special needs, who was at a special school. And sadly, that boy died after we were married 4 years, and he was just 11. And that really coloured my husband's attitude to having children anyway. So it would have been incredibly selfish to have had children with someone who lost a child in those circumstances.
If they had have wanted one, if you'd...
Well, that would have been tough for me to weigh up my career against having a child, because I am very career motivated. And then the husband after that, we weren't married that long. The first husband...
Bear with us, it goes on for years.
Well, the first husband, I was only in my 20s and I was working really hard, and so was he. And
it's interesting you were saying earlier, Janet, about how different it was when you started your career, and how having a baby would have been, you say, would have been the end of your...
Oh, yeah, well, when I started getting really successful, you know, as an executive, as opposed to being a presenter or, you know, presenting programmes, I realised that at the level I was at, all the women who had done really well had not had children. And one of my greatest friends, who was head of drama for ITV, she just had no children. I mean, it just was something that if you wanted to get on, you were on the at work 24/7. And even I would, you know, get up early and I'd be fitting in everything before I even got to the office. And the idea of having a child was just...
But I think I think women still think that now. You know, then they're saying a fifth of British women today are childless in their early 40s. Some, of course, won't be by choice, sadly. We know that. And but, you know, others, it will be by choice. Because there's, you know, women now freezing their eggs because they're saying, I don't want to have children.
Well, you waited, didn't you? I mean, you were, what, 40?
I asked him about 2 days. After, you know, literally really quickly.
But you were in your 40s?
I was 42 when I had Jack. So, and I always knew, way before I met Eamon, you know, in my grand plan of life, I saw myself as a mother. I wanted to have children. So when I met him, and I obviously knew he had 3 children from his first marriage, I did that really quickly. It was kind of like our second date.
I can't believe this, you and Stacey just talking about this. It makes me feel all anxious.
Why?
You've just, like, fast-forwarded it.
Yeah.
I think the early
I didn't
days...
just sit him down and go, hi, it's lovely to see you, have a wine, please. Now, children. I didn't do that, but, you know, the conversation, I kind of engineered the conversation and
you
said,
did,
look, you've got children, I appreciate if you didn't want any more, because I didn't want to go down that road, like you said, of, you know, I could feel where that was going and we were falling in love.
Compromise.
If he'd have said no, I don't want children, I'd have totally understood. He had 3 wonderful children.
Yeah.
And I would have said, do you know what, it's been lovely, let's not take this any further, because we're going to break each other's hearts, because I'll either pretend I don't want them
Then
and then
you might
resent
not have had
you.
them anyway.
I
if
might
you were
not, and that's the risk you take, isn't it? I might have
But
said...
you might have lost the love of your life.
I might well have done. But
See, if I
didn't,
was you,
fortunately,
Ruth,
but...
and Eamon, I was having that conversation
Yes.
with Eamon, I'd think, all right, Eamon, if he had said, no, I don't want children, I would have thought, but I'm so manipulative, give me
Yeah, but
6
you're
months.
manipulative, you're you and I'm not. No, but there are people...
Yeah, but people
I
do
could have
play
done
these
that.
mental games,
Yeah.
don't
Well, there's
they?
people that think that, well, once we're married, they'll change their minds,
Yeah.
and that's the danger of it, because they don't. I mean, if you don't want them, you don't want them.
But Kate Lawler is kind of saying there is still that feeling when people go like, I don't want children to a woman, as if, you know, that we
Yeah.
should all be maternal and all want children. I think, you know, that is still something
Yeah, and I
that
think childless women
suffer
are
from.
still judged, you know, even though it's not obvious, you know. I'm very aware of the fact that in my life, people go, oh, you know, you do feel a bit out of the conversation if you can't talk about parent-teachers' nights and all that, you know, all that stuff. But, you know, you just think, well, what I've chosen to do is work, and I enjoy my work, and I've had lots of really interesting relationships. I don't feel I missed out on anything.
But what is wrong with that? What is wrong with saying I don't really want to have children? I mean, even the word childless sounds like you've given up the opportunity to do
Yeah.
something, but actually you just
Yeah,
might
well, the word
want to.
childless is as horrible as the word housewife.
Yeah.
Like, you haven't married a house, have you?
We asked you at home, thank you for taking part in our poll, would you end a relationship if you disagreed about having kids? And a whopping 82% of you said yes, you would. That's how strongly people
Yeah.
feel that, you know, and... Catherine says, my first marriage broke down because of this dilemma. I wanted children, so did he when we got married, but then he changed his mind.
Oh, I see.
Ah,
Horrible
yes.
thinking.